Ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you very much for coming. Following the events yesterday, after the memorial of our brother Ken at Moi Girls in Kibra, the family was subsequently served with a court order by one Ann Thumbi, in which she has sought to bar the widow and the mother from carrying out Ken's wishes on how he wished to be interred. This morning, the family has appointed two law firms. The widow has appointed the firm of Okoth, who have just come on record in that particular matter, and myself, who has come on record as part of the larger team of lawyers that will include Honorable Senator Orengo, Honorable Anthony Oluoch, and Honorable Otiende Amolo, amongst others, including TJ Kajwang. We have tried to do two things overnight and this morning. Number one, as I mentioned at the funeral ceremony yesterday, the family does not think that there's any dispute. And this has come out clearly from the court documents that were served upon the family last night. Number one, it is not in contention that the family is averse or has refused to provide DNA samples to ascertain the paternity of a child. Number two, the family has not barred any person from participating in the final rites of Ken Okoth. So what we have done, from the instructions of Ken's mother, we have prepared a consent saying, yes, this lady has the liberty to collect DNA samples using her own doctors at any time during the course of today, as the body of Ken still lies at the Lee funeral home. The widow has made that specific concession as well, that she has no problem that a DNA sample can be taken. You do not need the entire body to ascertain paternity of a child. So the widow has already given instructions to her lawyers, Walker Contos. They have signed the consent already. On the instructions of my client, Mama Angelina, I have signed that consent as well. And we have sent this consent to the lawyers of this lady. And it is up to her now, if indeed the motivation for this particular lawsuit is not just to cause public embarrassment for our brother, but that she's looking after the interests of the child. We want her to sign that consent immediately, because those are the only two things that she was asking for. She's free and her kid is free to participate in the final rites of Ken. We have signed that as a concession. A DNA sample can be taken as much as she wants today. We are free and we are ready right now. The family's pathologists and doctors are on standby. We are waiting for her to tell us who her doctors are. And we have come before this court to tell the court that having consented to those matters as a family, we need that file to be brought up today in the afternoon to be mentioned, so that that consent can be recorded. So really, as we speak right now, the ball is in Ann Thumbi's court, that if indeed the motivation was those two issues and the family has accepted those two issues, then there's really no reason why we should keep Ken Okoth in the mortuary until the 9th of August. Failing that, we have also put in an urgent application to set aside the orders that you obtained yesterday, because we believe that it was the orders were obtained as a result of material non-disclosure of the fact that the family has always been willing. In fact, over the period of the past 3 years, the family has requested Anne that she subjects that kid to a DNA test when Ken was still alive. And the instructions we have from the family is that she has repeatedly refused to subject this kid to a DNA test. So it is a bit strange that after the death of Ken is when she emerges and starts saying that she wants a DNA test. She did not tell the court the whole facts. And in fact, in light of the consent that we have signed this morning, there is no dispute here. There really is no dispute here. What she's planning to do is to embarrass the family so much that they accept that this is Ken's son without a DNA test. We want to make it very clear that from a legal and medical standpoint, a DNA test is the only way to prove paternity, and we will not concede to anything less than a DNA test to ascertain paternity of that child. That's all. Any questions? You would know that it was Ken's wish to be cremated, and we are going to carry out the wishes of the deceased person.
How long will it take to pass the result?
Doctor, but that's what I'm saying. We've been told sometimes it takes a few weeks, a few months. In the case of the Kakamega twins, I think it took about 3 weeks. So you can imagine subjecting the family to all this anguish and pain for a period of 3 weeks, yet you do not need the entire body for a DNA test. It is possible for us to give our brother his final rights, and DNA samples are collected for the purposes of analysis. These are the things that he's claiming will flow from whether the paternity is positive or negative. So you cannot start asking for money now. You know, it just looks untidy.